Hi, James Pax, Lightning from Big Trouble in Little China. Just last week, I did a podcast interview with a British podcaster, Anth Wood Movie Mania. And we talk about the 40th anniversary tour of First Time in UK. All right, we talk a lot about Big Trouble in Little China and many other movies that I've done. So share your comments and enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to another live Anth Wood Movie Mania, and we are live because it is interview time. Now, my special guest has made a name for him right across the globe, from starring in the acclaimed drama as the First Emperor, to forming his own stunt team, from learning loads of different martial arts, from starring in the hit show The Nasty Boys, from starring along the likes of Chuck Norris in Invasion USA, Michelle Yeoh in the Heroic Trio, and celebrating 40 years of John Carpenter's cult classic, Big Trouble in Little China. So I would like to welcome to the channel the much appreciated James Pax.
Hello, and how are you? Thank you for inviting me to your Movie Maniac. That's the name of your channel, isn't it?
Yes, I am. I'm thrilled to have you on here. So, before we get started, I just want to say a massive thank you for coming onto the channel. It means so much to me that people like yourself, onto my little YouTube channel and taking the time out of your day, because I know you have a crazy work life, and and I just want to again say thank you.
Not at all. You know, there's nothing big or small in this world. Indeed, there's nothing big or small. When I talk about, being a human and also relating to others, I always feel that we are all equal and we are all trying to do something better for our lives and to interrelate to each other on a friendly way so that the world can be a better place for everyone to live, right?
Just before we start the interview, I just want to give two big shout outs to Hawkinge Comic Con for reaching out to me to help get this set up, and to your agent, Jenny, who's been brilliant, helping me with the questions and making sure everything is being set up nicely. And so I just want to give a big thank you to them as well.
Yes, definitely give a great thanks to Hawkinge boss. But so far has been great, since we arrived about 5 days ago. Was last Thursday arrival, and then by Saturday we were in, they call it San Diego Rocket Con, which is also quite interesting. Spent 2 days there meeting up with my fans, did a lot of signing, a lot of talking, as usual. And then we came back and getting ready to do your show. Yes, it's been very exciting start, because SD Rocket Con is the first of this year, and then we're going on to somewhere near Los Angeles, and then a week after we'll be in Florida for 3-city tour.
Wow.
Just to show everybody we are very well organized, as you can see. Yeah, I own a event management company in Asia and in Hollywood for over 30 years. Yeah. The event management house is also a production house that does anything from Chinese concerts to Olympic game. I am the one who produced the Olympic game, what do they call it? Cultural exchange week for the Coca-Cola executives that came from the entire world. About 800 executives came in on 2008 to Beijing to attend the 2008 Beijing Olympic, and I'm the man who is in charge of providing them with the best Chinese cultural shows. So that's what I did. So I'm a man of many hats. Today I'm an actor, and a day after I could be a director, and then when I'm free, I am a screenwriter, a storyteller. So I wear many hats at different times.
So take us back a little bit. Growing up, did you know you wanted to be an actor, or did you have a different career in mind growing up?
Well, I have to say, growing up as a kid, I was skinny as hell, and I got beaten up once. In the schoolyard. Can't remember what it's about. But when you were a kid, you were stupid anyway.
Yeah.
So after that, I said I gotta learn something to protect myself. So one day I watched the TV, and Bruce Lee was on the TV, as you know, back in the 70s. I think I was in Hong Kong and just a little kid, and Bruce Lee was doing his kung fu demonstrations and being vibrant and also a little bit arrogant. But I think you can be arrogant if you're as good as Bruce Lee. He always tried to demonstrate how great his body is and how fast his move is. But it's just the way that he speaks. And also, after watching this movie, I said, gee, I gotta learn Kung Fu. And perhaps then I can protect myself. And that's started my journey of the search for Kung Fu and athletic training. Then I moved on to New York, and I began to learn Taekwondo, Karate, and then continue the Kung Fu and the Wushu, and doing all kinds of weapons, staffs, broadsword, longsword, spears, this, spear that, and on top of that, believe it or not, I was a ballet dancer, trained at the Joffrey Ballet. You might have heard of it. They tour all over Europe as well. And at the same time, I was trained to be a jazz dancer. Back then, jazz dancing was very popular because all the shows on Broadway were doing jazz. So then I got involved into music video, MTV, and a lot of TV shows that requires dancers. I'm the first up, and I'm the first Asian American dancer to be dancing on TV and also on all these MTV shows. That's how I started. But one thing that really started I should say, inspired me to become an entertainer was when I was just in college, and I went to Chile, at a very young age, and through French introduction, because I was already a singer, and every day I was holding my guitar and singing in my room, and my friend's brother came in and said, James, come on out, you have to show us how you sing. So I sang a couple of songs, and he said, my God, this was real good. You need to be on TV. I said, are you kidding me? He said, no, I'm a famous comedian in Chile. I can get anybody into shows if I believe in them, and I believe in you. The next day, he took me to the TV station. They say, okay, shoot, sing something. Boom, boom, boom. I sang 2 songs. Enough. You're in it. You're in the show. Huh. So the next thing you know, a week after, I was on this big stage in a big theater that had 5,000 female audience only. Wow. And of course, these Latino women, they're just crazy. Well, men, but I didn't know they were crazy about Asian men like me. I said, am I the first Asian man in Chile? That kind of thing. Maybe I was, because while I was there for 3 months, I don't think I ever met another Asian man there. But you know what? I went up, of course, with prior rehearsal. I had a 40-piece band behind me. You can imagine, right? Those Latino 40-piece band with congos and all kinds of, drums and whatever. And the full brass section. Oh, my God. And I was saying, the minute I strummed my guitar, I could not hear myself because the whole crowd went crazy. It's just like in a Beatles concert in America or something. But I just kept on singing, one song after the other. I don't even know how I ended, but the ending was just phenomenal. The women just went crazy. That's how I started. In that evening, when I went to bed, I began to try to recall what had happened. And yet I do not recall much except the screaming of these young girls. I said, what is it about you, James? I mean, is it something that James do that attracts people's attention? That's when I had my first notion about becoming an entertainer, really. There's only one way for Qin to survive, and that is to conquer! And the day is yours! And this is yours!
47 BC, King Ying-Zhen has strengthened his power through war. He fights for his life and for a dream to forge a new nation, China. Many great kings have tried before him, and all have failed. But this time will be different, because Ying-Zhen is different.
You have any ID?
Yeah.